Hello, everybody. Good morning and good afternoon. This is Jan here at Gated Talent. And today we are going to discuss virtually networking on LinkedIn for career advancement. And for this topic, I'm delighted to welcome Jessica Samuels. Hello, Jessica. How are you today?
I'm doing well today. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. So just to give our listeners a little bit of background, Jessica owns a career and executive coaching business called Evolve Career, where she helps high-achieving yet frustrated job seekers find fulfilling careers as corporate leaders or entrepreneurs. Jessica's passions are helping clients create professional brands, manage their online reputations, attract hiring managers and recruiters, and overcome leadership challenges. So Jessica's client who joined the Evolve Career Network achieve endless results, including new fulfilling careers, higher paying salaries, greater leadership confidence, and more business clients and new customers as new entrepreneurs. So for more information on all this, feel free to visit Jessica's website, which is www.evolvecareer.com. You'll have a link to the website in the follow-up email after this session anyway, and more details about Jessica's services. Before we get started, just a little reminder, as always, you can use the chat box on the side of your screen to ask questions at any time during Jessica's presentation. And then we'll have a few minutes at the end to address those questions. So Jessica, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you, Jan. I appreciate that introduction. I was thinking, who is that lady? All righty. Well, let's jump right in. We are talking all things virtual networking on LinkedIn for career advancement. Our topics are going to break down into three. I want to start off with networking fears and facts. Then I want to move into LinkedIn networking prerequisites. And then I want to spend some time talking about some templates that you can use when networking online. And then highlight a job seeker success story that I recently had with a client. So chat in the chat box for me really quick. When you think of the word networking, what comes to mind? And as you're filling in those responses, I want to highlight two important facts. First and foremost, when it comes to careers, 20% of professionals feel very passionate about their jobs. And if you're looking at that number, it's not a lot. Another 33% of professionals believe that they have reached a dead end in their career. So when you take those two facts and you think about the unfortunate evidence that people are not happy in their careers, networking is really going to be a critical tool in you landing a job that you not only feel passionate about, but also opening doors for you as well.
So the chats I see are more about either finding a new job or also pitching business to potential new clients.
Okay. So finding a new job altogether. And again, that's great. And I appreciate those chat boxes, chat questions here. When you think of the word networking and you chatted those responses, were they more about fear or more about facts and maybe even some opportunities, like some of our clients are saying, opening up doors for new jobs or new opportunities? And when you think about your network, it's sometimes you feel that it could feel fake or insincere or maybe anxiety inducing. Unfortunately, some people feel forced and it feels a bit scary. But then there are those that have a more positive outlook about networking and think of it as an opportunity to meet new people. And then also it's really essential for career growth. So who is in your network? And many people don't stop to think about who's in your professional network. If you haven't thought about this, take a moment to just analyze who's in your LinkedIn network and who's in your non-LinkedIn network. This could consist of past and current clients, current colleagues, clients, alumni, social groups that you're in. Maybe you're in online social groups, or maybe you are a part of a gym community. Maybe this consists of some service providers. Think about it, your mailmen, your babysitters, your hairdressers, and then last but not least, your family and your friends. So your circle is widening every single day. And if you don't take note to that, you may miss out on some great opportunities related to your career. So how are you all feeling about your next networking occurrence? Type it in the chat. I want to hear you honestly. Are you nervous? Are you looking forward to it? Are you feeling unprepared? And Jan, feel free to call out some of those responses. And as you're chatting
Sure.
those responses in, I really want you to take a moment and learn a new fact around networking. Okay. 80% of people are nervous when it comes to going to a networking event, whether that's in person or virtual. And you can now consider, if you are one of those folks and you raise your hand and say, I am very nervous and petrified about networking in person or virtually or even through LinkedIn, consider yourself on even playing field. Most people are nervous. All right. So think about bringing your authentic self to the table. That exudes confidence more so than being a perfect person. So what were some
I've
of
got
the
so,
responses? Yeah.
yeah, some of the responses do mention that people don't necessarily like networking, but they consider
Yeah.
it, something that has to be done, and are definitely more nervous to do it in person than online. But at the same time,
Hmm.
online seems a bit more fake compared to in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. All of those words we had on the previous two slides. And to be honest with you, I understand where it could feel fake and forced. You may be thinking, well, I'm looking for a job and I don't want this person to be thinking that I am only getting in contact with them or using them for their connections to a job. And if you approach it that way, it will feel fake and insincere. But when you flip your mindset to think about, wow, I'm going to be networking with folks that may have opportunities. And guess what? I have some opportunities as well that I could share with them, or I have talents or I have skills that I could help them with. So as you're networking, think about it in a two-way street. You're willing to share your expertise in a particular area, and you're also going to be, excuse me, inquiring about any opportunities they may know about that align to your professional brand and your future career opportunities. So hang in there.
Great.
I'm going to show
Mhm.
you how to stay, sincere and genuine in all of your networking via LinkedIn.
Great.
So before we jump into networking, there are a few prerequisites. I can't let you start networking if you don't have yourself set up for success. Okay. First and foremost, we know this. Gated Talent shares many webinars around LinkedIn profiles and the best practices there, but I have to start with that.
Absolutely.
You have to have an impactful LinkedIn profile. It is the first representation that anyone will see of you when you're reaching out to them. So just a bit of a refresher here. 600 million users are on LinkedIn. It's a powerful platform, and 2 people join LinkedIn every second. The other aspect of LinkedIn is you are 6 times more likely to get viewed if you have a stellar headshot. So go ahead and update your profile, reach out to Gated Talent, reach out to me if you need my help here around getting an impactful LinkedIn profile. It will become a game changer in terms of your confidence when reaching out to individuals. Let's continue this. So LinkedIn has many best practices, and I won't take too much time highlighting these, but essentially before you start to network, you've got to join LinkedIn Premium Career. If you are on a passive or active job search, there are so many benefits to LinkedIn Career that I don't have enough time to go over, but essentially you can gain insights to who's viewing your profile instead of the 5 that show from a regular LinkedIn account. If you have the Premium Career, you are able to see many more views to your profile as well as a slew of analytics. But making sure your profile is stellar, it's a few things. We've got to have an awesome profile picture there. Why? Because this actually helps you feel more confident and it's actually reflecting your current professional brand. So if you want to career change and enter a new market, you may have a different look and feel for where you are currently now. So get a stellar picture. It doesn't have to be expensive or fancy. Get a blazer, get a nice jean jacket, whatever your style is, and have someone take a picture of you seriously in your home with your iPhone. And to even make things even wonderful, go to the hair salon and get your hair really just nice done, and you can get the hairdresser to take a picture. You don't have to spend a whole bunch of money to get a solid profile picture. Second, cover photos. These are the pictures that are behind your profile picture on LinkedIn. And this really reflects your brand, but also allows you to show a bit of personality. So take advantage of this element on your LinkedIn profile and weave in maybe your accomplishments, or if you've worked with certain high profile clients or notable employers, put that in your cover photo. Third, headline. We have to have a strong headline that includes your desired roles for keyword optimization and your top 3 superpowers. And you may be asking me, Jessica, what is a superpower? It's what makes you stand apart. There are many executives out there, but what makes you unique? And when you think about your top 3 superpowers, putting that in your headline allows for hiring managers and recruiters to notice you when they're conducting talent searches. And then lastly, in that headline, you want to highlight a brief brand statement to show people how you do what you do. Another aspect of LinkedIn is you have to make sure that your about section and your featured section has a few elements. So let's dig into that. Does your about section list your expertise? Does it highlight your specialties? Does it even mention your career aspirations? You may be in this particular industry trying to break into this industry. Are you personalizing it by adding a bit of your hobbies or maybe your interests outside of work? In the featured section, are you linking some work samples that you're proud of, or maybe even your updated resume? There are so many possibilities to show and communicate to your network and recruiters that you are in the job market. And then last but not least, to have an effective and impactful LinkedIn profile is you have to describe your experience in a way that attracts readers. Do your titles and do your job descriptions include keywords as well as accomplishments? Think about that. People want to know that you are able to deliver results. So if you just simply write, I've been in this role for 9 years, it doesn't tell the full story. Tell the full story and think about it from the standpoint when you have a solid LinkedIn profile, you're probably going to be more proud to share that with someone when you're networking with them. Okay? So we've covered the LinkedIn basics. Any questions around that, please chat them in, but I am moving on to another tip. So the second tip in LinkedIn virtual networking is you have to craft stories. And you're thinking, Jessica, stories, but you have to. In a networking event, most people are nervous because they don't know what they're going to say. So prepare what you're going to say when you're engaging with people. You may have a story around a hobby. You may have a story around leadership. You may have a story around team building or how you are an excellent customer service oriented person. Maybe you have a story of your career passions. Like, how did you know that you were in the right industry? That's a powerful story to share with someone that you're just meeting. And then last but not least, your brand. How do you describe yourself and how do others describe you? And that language, again, will be crafted and you're going to have that in your LinkedIn headline. So be thinking about these 5 powerful stories, and you can have 2 or 5, doesn't really matter, but prepare them in advance, practice them in advance so that they roll off of your tongue when you're in a networking event and you seem authentic and genuine. So the next tip, now that we are moving into actual LinkedIn searching, okay, this is when the networking occurs. You are going to be finding many different people across the planet, across the world, and there are some really snazzy LinkedIn search functions that I want to highlight here for a second. So my first favorite is the alumni tool. And if you have not used this, it's simply searching in the global search bar here. And I went to Towson University. My last master's was from Towson. So I'm showing you here that if you type in Towson, you can see school pops up beside Towson University. And when you select that in the search results, there will be a new page that appears, and then there's a navigation pane to the left that allows you to select an alumni tab. When you select the alumni tab, there will be thousands of people that have gone to this school. And this is your first and most immediate point of contact in virtual networking. And you may ask me, well, why is that the first one? It's the first simply because alumni are like sports teams. Everyone wants to root for the same sports team. So when you're reaching out to an alumni, inquiring about their career journey, they're more likely to take a moment and pause and see where they can lend a hand and help you. So start out with your alumni because these can turn into internal referral partners in a blink of an eye. Next, when you are looking for opportunities to network, think about when you're searching for jobs. So when you're searching for jobs, and I just pulled up a random leadership role in LinkedIn, and these are recruiter job posters. So when you're in the job section of LinkedIn, you can see my cursor up here. Usually when there are jobs posted, you also will see the job poster. And this person is the recruiter. So it just says executive recruiter right here. You could send them an in-mail, and an in-mail message is reaching out to someone on LinkedIn that you are not personally connected to. This is powerful. I'll show you a template of how you can engage with these types of recruiters in a second.
This is only for premium accounts, right?
This is only for premium accounts, correct. So getting LinkedIn Premium Career is very important, yes. And while you're in the job search, spend a few months paying for that, and then as soon as you're done your job search, you can choose to see if you want to continue it or discontinue it. So our next powerful networking opportunity is through recruiters that are in your first network, your first connections. And so first connections are people that you have actually connected with on LinkedIn. And you can simply go to our magical LinkedIn bar here and type in recruiter. And when you type in recruiter, you can use this filters button here to narrow your results even more slimly than just all the recruiters that are on LinkedIn. You can narrow your results down based on location, maybe even first or second or third connections. Maybe you're looking for recruiters at a particular company. The list goes on. This is powerful if you want to understand what opportunities are at a company or understand the culture of a company. I would highly recommend you reaching out to recruiters, and you'd be surprised. They actually do respond, and they make time to have conversations with potential talent. So another wonderful person to network with on LinkedIn is hiring managers. And you may say, well, how do I know if someone's a hiring manager? You may not know. They may not have this big flag on their head saying, I'm hiring all of the time, but you're really going to be engaging in groups. And so when you are on LinkedIn, the magical search bar again, adding your industry that you're either in today or you're wanting to get into in that search bar will present some groups for you to join. Professional groups are online communities, and you can post anything that's meaningful to you. You can read others' posts. You can also find the jobs tab in a particular group, and there will be job openings there, and most likely you will be able to view that person that has posted that job. So reaching out to them would be a great opportunity to virtually network with a hiring manager. And then last but not least, when there are posts in a particular group, I pulled up a group that I'm a part of, and you can see this person, Dolly Obero, we are looking for ISDs in Fort Meade and Fort Belvoir area. So she's hiring. Check out our openings. She's got an image. She's saying, check me out. And I want you to see here that her role, she's a CEO. So my tip for my clients is when you are looking for hiring managers, think of the managers, the directors, VP, SVP, and CEO. In those titles, they will indicate maybe they have some authority in the hiring space, or they may have a closer relationship with some of the recruiters at that company. Once you engage with them and share your resume and profile, you'll be able to share. So we've gone over all of the people that you could reach out to. Now let's look at a success story. One of my past clients just this past week landed a new job in 7 days after working with me. I'm going to repeat that again, 7 days after working with me. And this was all because they followed my instructions around LinkedIn profile networking. He was able to change roles. He was able to change industries, able to relocate from the DC area to California and increase his salary by 30K. So what does that tell you? That it works. Let me show you a bit of what his approach was. So his approach was reaching out to 3 alumni. And I want to highlight here that the 3 interactions were very different. The first one, they had no time to chat, but they gave some interesting insights around the company culture. He was looking to see if there were, any red flags about the culture, and the individual he connected with on LinkedIn said they show everyone with grace and respect. The second one offered to be an internal referral for him. and also gave him some company application advice saying that you need to make sure you don't have an out-of-state address and you connect with everyone at the company instead of blindly applying. And the third person that he reached out for was the hiring advocate. He connected the client to the recruiter. He also made some time to meet via Zoom for a 15-minute coffee date. And he also sent his resume along to the recruiter that ended up landing him the job. So I wanted to highlight these three different virtual networking experiences on LinkedIn because they're not going to look the same, and be okay with that. And so we have some templates here. There's two parts to your LinkedIn networking. First, you have to think about connecting with that person. And so you may start to connect with them based on your alumni connections. And then you may, once you're connected, start to pick up a conversation with them and thanking them for their LinkedIn connection request and asking if they have 15 minutes for a virtual coffee date to meet up later this week to learn a little bit more about their career journey and their experience as an employee at that company. Super simple. So think about it as connection first, conversation second. And I wanted to show you a LinkedIn networking template. So after you've applied to a job, it's wise to in-mail message. Again, you've got to have this premium career to the recruiter highlighting, hi, I hope this email finds you well. I'm very interested in said job at said company. Give the high-level brand statement. You have expertise for so many years, and here are your top 3 competencies. Attach your cover letter and resume there and offer to have a short discussion with them. And this is all within the platform of LinkedIn, where you can attach your cover letter and resume to a LinkedIn message. This is powerful. This is showing that you're willing to take that extra step. And recruiters are busy, so they want spoon-fed resumes and spoon-fed talent that are interested in seeking out relationships with them. So to wrap up, LinkedIn networking tactics are simple. Think about networking in the sense of you're connecting with alumni. You can even tailor that to the location, where maybe you're in a certain location now, or maybe you want to move to a new location using the filters. You can also connect with industry experts, your first and second connections. And you can also use the search filters to find employees and recruiters at your desired companies. So it's just that simple. There's no perfect way. Use the templates that I shared with you, customize them to your liking, and you'll be well on your way.
Thanks, Jessica. And of course, everybody on the call will receive those slides later on. So of course, we'll have access to these templates to use themselves if they wish to do so.
Absolutely. So to wrap up, want to hear some questions from you all as you're chatting those questions in. I'd love to hear them and hear from you. Wrapping up here is, hopefully you have more confidence in these 4 areas that you can overcome any networking fears that you have through facts. It's essential for career advancement to network, and hopefully you realize you don't have to be perfect when doing so. Second, you have to make some time to set yourself up for success before engaging with recruiters and requesting informational interviews. Third, leverage those templates. Jan said that we're sending those over to you. I want you to use them. I want you to customize them and make them feel like yours. And last but not least, think about using LinkedIn to build your network through alumni connections, second connections, recruiters, and company employees. It will be shocking to you at first that people are making the time to speak with you, but again, people want to see everyone win, genuinely speaking. So reach out to them and have lots of confidence there. And last but not least, if you feel like you're with Jessica, this was 30 minutes, it's great, but I need some more coaching around this, reach out to me. I cover everything from LinkedIn coaching sessions to new LinkedIn profile makeovers to career confidence coaching and executive leadership coaching. So if you don't know who you want to be when you grow up, that's okay. Let's connect, and I can help you streamline where your transferable skills are to your next career move. So let's have some questions here from the audience.
Thank you, Jessica. Some questions about how to prioritize which alumni to approach. Would you go for people that you know already first, or would you just jump in the deep end and contact people who have never heard of you before?
That's a great question. I would say both, right? I think that you can filter and have, and what I try to tell my clients is just to reach out to 3 people a day. That's it. So you can mix and have 2 pools of people. I like the approach to connecting with people that you know already because they're a bit more invested, but I do like the random alumni if you search for the industry. So if you are in oil and gas today and you'd like to get into education technology tomorrow, search alumni and then put in education technology in that filter, and then it will bring up people that are in that space today. So a mix of the two. That's a great question.
Okay, and now we have a very specific question. How do I leverage LinkedIn to look for non-government executive positions as a federal government employee? So I guess probably the same tactics, but I'll let you answer.
Sure. I mean, I think if you are a federal government employee, it really doesn't matter what industry you're trying to break out of or get into. It's really crafting your professional brand around your specific industry. So what I mean by that is, do you want to do project management in a non-government role? If that's the case, then your profile needs to be all things project management. And once you've optimized that profile, hopefully LinkedIn recruiters are seeing your profile in their search results, so you will automatically be presented with some opportunities that are outside of the government. On top of that, my second piece of advice for this individual would be to network with people that are non-governmental employees. So that would, again, taking these same steps, reaching out to alumni, reaching out to recruiters that are posting positions around project management, and also reaching out to project management professionals that are in your first, second, and even third connections that are in the field or in the role today, and inquiring with them, how did they get into the industry, or do they know of any opportunities that are within their company?
Okay, and the last question we received is about reaching out on LinkedIn to for potential jobs. Is it better to go through recruiters directly on LinkedIn, or to try to cut the middleman out and approach hiring managers directly?
I like both. I like both. I'm kind of aggressive when it comes to LinkedIn networking. I mean, you could never communicate with, too many people. And I'll tell you, years ago I was in job hunting, and I looked up a position, and it was with Wayfair, and I reached out to 8 recruiters. I did the recruiter search, and I put recruiter Wayfair, and like 8 of them came up. So I reached out to all 8 of them, and then I searched for who I thought the manager was, and I said, okay, well, I think this person's going to report to the position I was interested in is going to report to the VP of learning. And I reached out to the person in learning, and both the hiring manager said, it's so lovely to receive your resume and your message. This is great. I'll forward it to the recruiter. By the time the recruiter responded back to me on LinkedIn, she said, oh, yes, the hiring manager just forwarded your resume. This is great. I can't wait to connect with you on a phone interview. So take both angles, hiring managers and recruiters. You can never go wrong with reaching out to too many people.
Okay. Another question we just got is, apart from being able to send emails, what is the advantage of using the Career Premium account?
In addition to the emails, is that what the question was? What are some of the advantages? Yes. You can also, again, dashboard and analytics, seeing that people have viewed your profile, and why that's critical is when recruiters are using LinkedIn Recruiter to find talent, you are popping up in their search results, hopefully because you have an amazing optimized LinkedIn profile. So when they view you, you can see that, and then you can reach out directly to that recruiter and say, hi there, I noticed that you searched my profile, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And that is just amazing in of itself. You can also gain access to LinkedIn learning videos if you need some refreshers in any particular skills or topics before you start to interview. And lastly, you can use their salary insights tool to get a better gauge of what you would be priced at in the current job market.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, that takes us to the end of this webinar. It's been exactly half an hour. So thank you so much, Jessica, for spending time with us today and for giving us all these tips and information. I hope everybody on the call found it useful. Again, if you would like to get in touch with Jessica, you will receive all her details in a follow-up email that you will receive in about an hour's time. So we look forward to seeing you again, maybe, Jessica, for a further webinar in the future. And everybody on the call, thank you for attending, and we'll see you soon again for a new webinar. Thanks, Jessica. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.